About victory with Viguerie. Richard Viguerie, a man who really helped transform American politics in an earlier generation with his use of direct mail advertising. His latest book is entitled Takeover, and it chronicles the historic battles that are ongoing between conservatives and moderates within the Republican Party. Richard Viguerie, it's so great to have you back on America's Forum. Thanks for Skyping in today from the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Always a pleasure to be with you, JD.
So, Richard, midterms historically become a referendum on the president in office. Has the GOP formulated an effective national message?
It's been an abysmal failure by the Republican leaders to do this, JD. And in my 50-plus years at the national level of the conservative movement, I've observed that the Republicans never win big unless they nationalize the election. And the Republican leaders have failed to do that. The four big Republican victories in my lifetime: Reagan 1980, Reagan in 84, the Gingrich contract with America that you were part of back in 1994, the Tea Party victory in 2010. Those Republicans nationalized those elections. The Republican leaders, Reince Priebus, John Boehner, Mitch McConnell, others have done nothing to nationalize this election. It looks like the Republicans could have a pretty big victory next Tuesday, but it will be because of the failure of the Obama Democrats, nothing that the Republicans have done. And by the way, it's not too late to help nationalize these elections, because most nationalized elections as a wave, it develops late in the last week or 10 days. 1980, early October, Reagan and Jimmy Carter are even, tied in the polls. So things broke for the Republicans in 1980, late in the campaign. And that can happen again if conservatives will get out, JD, and try to nationalize the election around three issues: amnesty, national security, and the corruption of and the lies and the lawlessness of the Obama Democrats.
Well, it sounds like a great prescription for victory, Richard, but I was bemoaning the fact that, and I have been from this anchor desk for a long time, that we get mixed signals. Amnesty, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce continues to back it. Yeah, they claim they've gotten away from it. A lot of establishment Republicans, including John Boehner, keep talking about bringing back comprehensive immigration reform. Are they ever going to get a clue on just what this means to the American people?
Well, I don't think so, JD. As I've mentioned on your program before, I think the conservatives are like the biblical Jews who had to wander through that desert for 40 years until that generation of failed, flawed leaders had passed from the scene. Same for conservatives. We're not going to get to the political promised land until we get new leaders. People just don't like the Karl Roves of the world, the John Boehners, the Mitch McConnells. I think we're going to need new leaders. And another reason maybe that the Republican leaders have consciously not nationalized this election, because they don't want to have a mandate to govern and close the borders and strengthen our national defense and roll back Obamacare and other big government agenda items of the Obama administration. So if they have a nationalized election, they have a mandate to do something. And maybe these big government Republicans don't want to undo much of the Obama administration's policies and programs.
Wow, that is quite a charge. But Richard, you've always been a guy who called it as you see it. About 30 seconds left. I want to ask you quickly about Ebola. Are there political opportunities amidst the so-called Ebola crisis?
Well, it's certainly the American people have not been reassured that our president is making decisions based on what's good for the health of the American people. With the appointment of the political czar, Ron Klain, who is well known as a political operative, that doesn't reassure the American people that Obama is going to make the decisions that are best for them. He could close the border. He could stop many of the people coming in from these African countries that are dealing with Ebola. And I'm afraid that too many decisions seem like they're being made for political purposes rather than what's good for the health of the American people.
Fair enough. Stay right there, Richard. We're coming back with Richard Viguerie after this.